Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Sharknado 3. Oh hell no!
Directed by A.C. Ferrante, written by Thunder Levin, starring Tara Reid, Ian Ziering, and Cassie Scerbo, Sharknado 3 is about a monstrous tornado unleashing sharks on the East Coast. What do we like about this movie, guys?
I'm gonna kick it off with the campiness of this movie. We have stuff that happens in the White House. We have stuff that happens in space. We have laser chainsaws, for Christ's sake, at one point. There's a ton of crazy things happening.
As soon as the movie started to the very end, it was just ridiculousness. It didn't let up.
We've got epic action scenes that are just over the top throughout the entire movie. They made scenes that were made to be tweetable because they know we need to rock this Sharknado 3 hashtag and roll with it.
When you get down there and you're watching it and you have the Twitter going and you just see 100,000 other people saying the exact same thing at the exact same scenes, like it really feels like a community of people just sitting back and watching the dumbest movie and having a great time about it. And I love that about what Sharknado has become.
I also found it was nice to see a familiar face in this movie. Nova, played by Cassie Scerbo. She's back, looking better than ever, and she was more badass in this one. Like, Claudia, you stepped up your game too. I like the direction her character went in this film.
Yeah, she was much more badass. She dyed her hair, so I think that had a big part. She wasn't complaining and bitching the whole time. She was grabbing like M16s and just fucking murking up these sharks. She's no longer an emotional young teen. She's now a young adult with a machine gun.
What were our favorite cameos in this movie?
My favorite cameo definitely was Frankie Muniz because I haven't seen him in so long, since he was on Malcolm in the Middle. I really loved it because it was a nice shock and you started to get eaten away and I thought you were gonna be a big deal. Leg eaten off, arm eaten off, and all that we're left with is little Malcolm's middle.
My favorite cameo, and it's no surprise here, is Chris Jericho. I love wrestling, I love wrestlers, and Chris Jericho being in this movie was absolutely awesome because he is so entertaining, but I feel he could have easily just put a shark in like the walls of Jericho, or when it was like flying in the air, just did like a code breaker, and oh, that would have made it so much better, but I still appreciate the cameo.
My favorite cameo is going to be Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk himself. He was funny, he was taking the selfies, he was ripped. What is he, like 70? What didn't we like about this movie, guys?
My major dislike is definitely going to be controversial for those who love the Sharknado series, which we do. I feel that this installment was just too ridiculous and too over the top, while trying to take itself a little bit more serious than the second one. We had lots of cameos, we had crazy situations, but they weren't funny. We didn't laugh like we watched the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard too, because like we get like a David Hasselhoff cameo, and all you want to do is see either Baywatch or Knight Rider references, and we're not really getting any of those.
David Hasselhoff's part was played oddly serious. I think there were actually too many cameos in this movie. I don't need to recognize all these faces.
Last one, when we were getting cameos, we were getting people who we haven't seen in a while, but they had kind of a significant part and died off in a fashion that brings back to why they were like typecasted.
Right, in this one, none of the cameos actually had a standout death. The deaths in this movie were pretty generic. A shark falls from the sky and just squashes everybody. They die immediately and you don't give a shit.
Yeah, and we didn't have that like sense of like danger or that intense moments like we had in the first two where like a shark falls somewhere and they have to try and get around the shark.
It's just like there was no cohesive story or struggle. It was just that anything he needed, it's like, I need weapons. Oh, let's go to the armory. Like there was no struggle, there was no effort had to be put in to fight these sharks. Maybe we've reached the end of the Sharknado.
Yeah, I think the novelty's worn off. The B-movie community is going to be a little desensitized, and I don't think there's going to be a big enough reception for them to continue the series much longer.
It's time for our final thoughts and ratings.
Sharknado 3, oh hell no, was more like a Sharknado okay. It stayed true to the Sharknado franchise. It was ridiculous. There was tons of shark kills. We had tons of cameos, and we had Ian Ziering we had Tara Reid, and we had the return of Cassie Scerbo. Unfortunately, I thought that a lot of the comedy that they tried to use and some of the cameos that they tried to use just didn't hit like it should have. They really tried to press a lot of serious tone throughout half of the movie, and I don't think they should have. And if you're gonna have cameos, then I think you should have at least some comedy in them, or at least memorable deaths, because unfortunately, a lot of the cameos just didn't work. So I'm gonna give this 3 golden chainsaw statues out of 5.
Sharknado 3 was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Just a fun time to sit down and watch with your friends and tweet all over social media. It was ridiculous, and I loved all the cameos, but there was a lot of it that was overplayed, and some of the jokes really did fall flat, which is disappointing. It is a social media movie. So next week, when someone's watching this film for the first time, it's probably not going to be as fun because they're not interactive with their friends. It's just losing its charm slowly because it's repetitive. So that being said, I'm going to give this film 3 riding the waves of patriotic freedom out of 5.
This movie was fun while watching it. I agree with John that it's an experience to watch it live. In a week from now, I don't know. It started off strong, it got right into it, but its tones were messed up. It was serious at times. I think it's getting to the end of the Sharknado lifeline. Watch it if you like. If you saw the other 2, you should definitely watch this one. So I'm going to give this movie 3 flag erections out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on Sharknado 3. Oh hell no! And make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our reactions, reviews, and games of What Would You Do.